Thank you. Two areas, one global, one local, so to speak.
It's all the same, isn't it? Because your point of attraction is your point of attraction, whether you're attracting it locally or globally or universally.
Okay. So right now I have this, I've tried not to internalize what's going on in the world. And a lot of it has to do with, I noticed that spiritual people in general are more laid back and at ease, enjoying their lives, and they're less likely to, join the government and trying to make change at the government level.
That might be true, but there might be some flawed premise in that. Consider this. We will hear your premise. We want to.
Okay.
But we're just going to stick something in here in case it makes you approach what you're saying in a way that's a little more to your advantage. If someone you don't know called you on the telephone and said, "Hello, you don't know me. I'm just calling to tell you I will never call you again," you would say, "All right." You might even say, "Good to know." But if somebody you really care about calls you on the telephone and tells you that, you would feel strong about it. And so a big part of what you were describing there is, it's like this. We'll give you an Esther example. If Esther's getting on a flight, like in the border crossing example that we had earlier, and she's coming to see you all, and her flight is delayed or canceled, she's going to have stronger emotion about it than somebody that was just going home to see mother. And the way she will double down on that, she will justify her negative emotion by saying, "Well, it matters more. People are counting on me." You see what we're getting at? It's like supporting the premise in order to support the negative emotion for really no good reason. So while you may be observing things in your world that give you that reasonable assumption, in other words, we're not telling you not at all that you're wrong about seeing things like that and deciding that. But we are saying to you that your inner being isn't seeing it that way.
Okay, because my premise is that, at least observing, spiritual laid-back people are not as dedicated or to motivate to join government and help the world, like global warming and all this stuff, where ideological people, like Tea Party, seem to be much more motivated to join government to force society in their way. So how?
If you're right, and as you speak it, we believe you are. If that premise is right, and as you spoke it, we found no vibrational discord with it, could it be that that group that you are calling spiritual people understand how the universe really works, and they know that their quest is in the vortex, and they're practicing the art of allowing, that they don't have to motivate and stress and struggle and defend and war? They've asked, and it's been given, and now they're doing their best to let it in.
But doesn't that then leave a vacuum in the government for the ideological people to enter and do their thing? That's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe it's giving everyone an opportunity to understand that something outside of them can't save them, and that no one's going to ride in on a big white horse and know just what to do, and that dependency on anything outside of yourself is a little bit futile. In other words, it sounds like you think you need a government to get it right, and we don't think you do. We know that you're casting your vibrational votes, and we know that life has been going on for a long, long time, and there have been a lot of governments and a lot of phases of government, and we know that what's going on in your government right now is not very different from what was going on a long time ago, like right at the beginning of what you're calling this government. They were always fighting and bickering with each other. There was a big question about whether Esther has been listening to an audiobook about Thomas Jefferson. He was the third president, and they were already fighting about whether they should just have one person like a king come, because they were all fighting so much, nothing was getting done. It was a jammed up quagmire then, just like it is now. But meanwhile, while all these jammed up quagmires are happening, because humans all want different things and they're all looking to one something to fix it all, meanwhile, all of that diversity is causing all of those rockets of desires to go to the vortex where they're being formulated, and the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, life as it goes on, is because of what's in the vortex, not because of what's happening in any government. It's really interesting, isn't it? Because those that are trying the hardest to get it to work are those that are holding themselves apart from the very solutions that they seek. You just can't bomb your way into well-being, or hate your way into well-being, or blame your way into well-being. But all of that creates more well-being that you're depriving yourself of with your bombs and your hate. And we're talking about everybody. We're not picking on anybody individually.
So what is it, what system on other advanced civilizations or whatever is in place that we're missing?
Oh, don't look back in that old yearbook. It's better now than it's ever been. The system, what keeps it going? 100% of you will reemerge into non-physical and have a clearing process where you will leave all doubt and fear and worry behind you. And you will regain your zest and exhilaration about what it's like to be on planet Earth, and you'll come back into a physical body, and then you'll mix it up and you'll launch newer rockets of desire, and you will improve the vortex and cause more long-lasting eternity, and larger numbers of you will enjoy the journey. That's the whole point. There's not a broken or flawed planet that you're being born to fix. It's not broken. You don't come to fix it, you come to enjoy it. You come to think about it and to ponder it and to get good ideas and to do your best to implement those ideas and to line up with those ideas and to feel the energy that creates worlds pouring through you to help you execute efficiently those ideas. But you don't come to condemn the others or to pity the others or to worry about those that aren't getting what they want. You just keep demonstrating how it works. And more, there are more and more that are finding the pleasure in all of that. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if one other person gets this. It's enough that you've lived enough life to really, really want. And we can feel what you want. You want fairness. Law of attraction is fair. It only doesn't seem fair when Esther's doubling down. Didn't seem fair that they didn't send her projectors. That's not fair. But what is fair is no one can buck her current. She's got to change it. That's fair. And until she figures that out, projectors are going to be scarce for her. Same old foggy projectors. Is that making some sense to you?
Yeah.
It's really fun when you take a subject that isn't so big and you focus on it and you observe the universe yielding to you. And after a while, you'll come to understand that whatever you ask for is yielded to you. And you as an individual lover are not different than you as a collective lover. This is a magnificent time to be focused in this time and space, because you are all asking, even those laid back ones, you're asking with greater specificity than you ever have before. And so as more are understanding how the laws of the universe work and are witnessing the very specifics that they are asking for happening, you begin to dawn your true sense of power, you see. But the tricky thing is, you cannot fight against anyone else that is using their law of attraction experience and getting something that you don't think that they should be asking for. You have to let it be all right that everyone has free will and that the law of attraction responds fairly across the board. There are a lot of people who are not experiencing the vortex version. The law of attraction says you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So don't try to figure out how anyone else is fitting in with all of that. You just pay attention to how you feel and what results you are getting. We will hear you.
Okay. I think that's about it. Yeah.
We think you stirred some good stuff up, stuff that everybody's been thinking about.
Pardon?
And we think you stirred some good stuff up, stuff that a lot of people have been thinking about. And we know for sure that together we took thought beyond what it had been before. And that now there are more likely more, not even in this room, who will have opportunities to chill a bit more. But we really want to say this to you. Don't ask them to all join the spiritual camp. There's not one camp that has more answers than the others. Everyone gets to ask, everyone gets answered, and everyone gets to receive. And it's just an individual thing that you do that determines whether you're one that's doing it. And this alignment that we talk about all the time, it's not like a college degree where once you get it, it's yours forevermore. It either is or it isn't in the moment. And so you just want to practice as much allowing as you can. Really good conversation. Good?